Each year, on Rosh Hashanah, I select a single word for our consideration and contemplation. This year, the word is awe. Awe is humbling. It puts us in our place. It connects us to the mysteries of creation and reminds us of our humanity. There is awe in birth. There is awe in death. There is awe in every precious second of life in between. Awe reminds us of our fragility. It is startling, miraculous, bewildering. A silent, star-filled sky, a morning sunrise, the vast, seemingly endless stretch of the Grand Canyon. Each can take our breath away. Each places us at the edge of a mystifying expanse and forces us to consider ourselves within a context of reality we cannot fully comprehend. In the birth of a child, the passions of love, an act of kindness and compassion, awe is there to remind us of our human connectivity, to humble us in our vulnerability, to invite us to be grateful for life. Awe weaves reverence and amazement into a single moment. We experience epiphany. We realize that we are part of something greater than ourselves. We, in awe, experience a transformation, an instantaneous shift in understanding who we are and what we stand for in this world. From the Jewish perspective, awe has the capacity to inspire, to illuminate, and motivate through a powerful emotional mix of trepidation and reverence. Humility, fragility, epiphany, reverence, gratitude, fear are all experienced in awe. And it is for this reason that today marks the first day of a 10-day period, which is referred to as the Days of Awe. The Hebrew word for awe is yireh. According to the great 20th century thinker, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, awe is not only a feeling, it is also a way of understanding. Heschel suggests that awe is itself an act of insight into a meaning greater than ourselves. It is a way of being in rapport with the mysteries of all reality. Awe enables us to perceive in our everyday lives glimpses of divine magnitude. In the Bible, such glimpses are rooted in both the ordinary as well as the spectacular. Take Revelation, for example. Moses first encounters awe and encounters God in the realm of the ordinary, at a bush burning in the hot desert heat. Driven by curiosity and intrigue, Moses is not drawn to the bush because something extraordinary is happening, because something spectacular is happening, but rather because something seems different. While others may have passed by that bush dozens of times, passing it off as some kind of normal brush fire, Moses stops. He stops and pauses long enough to recognize that something is different. And as he patiently observes the bush burning in his presence, something awesome unfolds. Truth is revealed. Wisdom is unleashed. In contrast to the simplicity of the burning bush, revelation at Mount Sinai is nothing short of spectacular. Moses receives the Ten Commandments and the Torah in a moment of fear and trembling as the skies are filled with lightning and thunder. Thus, our faith recognizes that the epiphany of awe resides in both the mundane as well as the magnificent moments in life. Each has the propensity to move the soul. Each has the capacity to enlighten the mind. As Psalm 111 proclaims, Reshit Chochmah Yirat Adonai, the beginning of wisdom is awe of God. Our sages later expand on this idea in Pirkei Avot when they said, where there is no wisdom, there is no awe. Where there is no awe, there is no wisdom. Indeed, awe can reveal unexpected lessons about life, the world, and ourselves. Moments of awe can draw our attention to the rhythms of the world and can make us acutely aware of how our actions impact everything and everyone around us. When we allow ourselves to fully experience awe, great lessons can be revealed. When we allow ourselves to fully experience awe, we open ourselves to change for the better. This is why our tradition defines the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur as the 10 days of awe. And over the course of these next 10 days, we are invited by our tradition to pay heed to what matters most in our lives. We have 10 days to set aside the ego. We have 10 days to quiet the mind. We have 10 days to open our eyes, our ears, our hearts, and our spirits to our own personal revelations, to the lessons which unfold as we allow ourselves to fully experience awe. The liturgical mechanisms we employ, the closing of heaven's gates, the sealing of the book of life, who shall live and who shall die, each represents a powerful image designed to evoke a sense of urgency and gravity. As we embrace these images and words as a community, we do so with the hope that we will be compelled and inspired to enter the new year with a greater understanding of ourselves and how we relate to the world around us. According to a study which was recently published in the Journal for Personality and Social Psychology, there is strong empirical evidence to support the idea that experiences of awe play an important role in how an individual perceives the self. This study suggests that awe may help an individual's focus away from the narrow self-centeredness that we can often feel and refocus us on interests which relate to a much broader community. Through a variety of social experiments involving thousands of participants, these researchers concluded that awe aroused a sense of altruism. Even brief experiences of awe, such as being among beautiful trees in the forest, enabled people to have a shift, to become less narcissistic and less entitled. Additionally, such experiences seem to arouse general sensitivities to shared human needs. One hypothesis as to why the feeling of awe would have such an effect on us is that when in a state of awe, we experience a sense of self which is smaller, more humble, and more connected. In short, brief experiences of awe seem to promote shifts away from self-centered views of the world toward a view which includes the needs of those around us. We seem to all be hardwired to experience awe. And while it may be easier to achieve an awe-filled moment while staring down from the Empire State Building, or staring up at the galaxy of the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights, the truth is some of the most awesome experiences that we have in our life reside in simple, everyday encounters. There is awe in the peaceful, quiet solitude of a baby at sleep. There is awe in the frenetic, joyful welcome of a dog when it greets his master when it comes back to the door after a long day of work. There is awe in the mysterious, random acts of cats. There is awe in watching bees make honey, and in the systematic ways colonies of ants build their mounds. There is awe in fire. There is awe in ice. There is awe in electricity, and even in refrigerator magnets. Each of these common experiences may not seem to have the gravity or the unfathomability that we might experience when we stand beneath the great pyramids of Giza, or when we're swimming within the Great Barrier Reef. But if we pause long enough and allow ourselves to remember our childhood curiosity and amazement regarding turning on and off a light switch, or trying to press magnets together and never making them stick, or walking around to other objects in the household trying to see what a magnet will stick to. If we can remember those moments, if we can place ourselves in that place of bewilderment, in that place of wonder, in that place is awe. From the mundane to the majestic, from ants making mounds to earthquakes moving mountains. Awe resides in everything we experience in life. And we have the capacity to evoke in those moments a sense of mystery, wonder, magic, and amazement. Of course, our ability to experience awe is not as simple as just turning on and off a light switch. There are obstacles and hindrances that constantly distract us from connecting to the world and with each other. The rigors and stresses of work, the insanity of daily traffic, the noise of endless obligations, all of these and so much more divert our attention and distract us from seeing the miraculous in the mundane. In order to experience more awe in our lives, we need to cultivate a daily mindset. We need to find a way to be inspired and connected to the glories of creation, not just in moments of drama, not just in moments that are magnificent, not just in moments that are as powerful as birth or as painful as death, but in the minute-by-minute mundane moments that surround us every day. In our daily prayer book, and in the prayers that we recite every time we gather here together during these holy days, there is a prayer called the Kedusha. The Kedusha prayer reminds us of this eternal truth. This prayer comes in the middle of our services, and we say it and sing it standing up. And they contain the brilliant words of the prophet Isaiah. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Shemelo Chol Haaretz Kevodo. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole universe is full of God's glory. In his book, Everyday Holiness, Alan Marinas, a modern-day Jewish scholar, draws our attention to this prayer as a means of cultivating a sense of awe on an ongoing basis. Morenis points out that the wisdom of the Kedusha is intentionally repeated again and again every day in our services, day after day, with the hope that we might begin to see and understand the glory of God pulsing through everything in existence, everywhere we go, everything we see, everything we do. Resonate with those powerful words of the prophet Isaiah, that God's presence is there and that God's glory can be experienced. Now, most of us do not pray every day, so these words from the Kedusha may not serve their intended purpose for us. But all of us have the capacity to engage a little bit more and be a little bit more attentive to our daily interactions. All of us have the ability to be a little bit more like Moses, who allows himself to be curious enough to approach the ordinary with eyes of wonder, and to be courageous enough to immerse himself in the spectacular long enough to allow revelation to unfold. So, over the course of these next 10 days of awe, I would like to invite each of us to engage in an exercise designed to open our eyes, our ears, and our minds, and our spirits to the potential lessons that are residing in the awe that surrounds us every day. When we leave here today, and when we return to our daily routines tomorrow, try to identify those things that distract us, divert us, and prevent us from remaining fully present in the moment. Make a concerted effort to be like Moses, who stops. Make a concerted effort to remove those impediments that are like noise around us, distracting us from being there. Take a break. Take a break from texting, from gaming, from talking on the phone, from Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. Take a break from whatever it is that is regularly distracting you and pulling you away from those sacred, special moments that are surrounding us every day. Engage the world and your surroundings with enthusiasm. Be positive and optimistic. Avoid the trappings of pettiness. Resist the temptation to engage in idle gossip. Refrain from being a naysayer, for all of these negative types of behaviors distract us and pull us away from seeing wonder and majestic beauty in all that we are in front of. When we gossip and talk negatively about people, when we say no to the things that are opportunities for us to learn, we cloud our minds and prohibit us from seeing the true awe that is there for us to embrace. It prevents us from fully learning. Remember, where there is no awe, there is no wisdom. Over the course of the next 10 days, we are invited by our faith to pay heed to that which matters most in the world, to that which matters most in our lives. Take the time. Commit yourself to seeking out those moments. But don't stop there. Take the time to share those awe-filled moments with your family and with your friends. Ask them, what filled your day with awe today? What experience did you have today that was truly awesome? Ask questions and be ready to learn. Make these next 10 days an exercise in the opportunity to see and experience life through the wisdom of Isaiah. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsevaot. Melo chol haaretz kivodo. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole universe is filled with God's glory. For when we do, when we begin to see the glory of God and the beauty and majesty and mystery of everything that surrounds us and everything we encounter, great lessons can be revealed, and we ultimately increase our capacity to change for the better. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be so.